forget friends of value back to theater.
Lovely viewers, tonight we are diving into one of the most talked about evenings in the world of Korean entertainment, a night that fans across the globe simply cannot stop buzzing about. Imagine this. Lee Min-ho, the ever-charming actor whose name carries weight not just in South Korea but internationally, and Song Hye Kyo, the timeless queen of K-drama who continues to reign with grace and elegance, coming together to host a dazzling dinner for their closest circle of friends. Doesn't that already sound like the perfect setup for a magical, unforgettable night? Well, let's walk through the glittering details together and unfold everything that happened, from the glamorous atmosphere to the stunning guest list, from the laughter that filled the air to the whispers of romance and friendship that left fans in awe. So sit back, lovely viewers, because we're going to relive this spectacular event in detail and make you feel like you were right there in the room with them. It all began when news outlets hinted that something was brewing. Paparazzi lenses caught glimpses of luxury cars pulling up discreetly to a private venue in Seoul. And it wasn't long before eagle-eyed fans pieced the puzzle together. Who could command such attention and gather such a lineup of stars under one roof? Of course, it had to be Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo. And this wasn't just any casual dinner. It was an evening carefully planned, intimate yet extravagant, designed to bring together not just celebrities but dear friends who share years of memories, laughter and milestones. Fans speculated for days, wondering what kind of energy such a gathering would hold. And the answer, as we're about to dive into, was pure magic. The setting itself deserves a moment of admiration. Picture a grand hall transformed into a haven of elegance, with golden chandeliers casting a warm glow over perfectly arranged tables draped in ivory and gold. Crystal glasses sparkled in the light, silver cutlery gleamed, and each table centerpiece featured an arrangement of white roses and lilies that seemed to whisper sophistication with every petal. There was no doubt about it. This wasn't just dinner, this was an experience. The attention to detail reflected not only the host's taste but also their desire to make their guests feel cherished. When Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo made their entrance, the room itself seemed to pause for a breath. Lee Min-ho, dressed in a classic black tuxedo that hugged his tall frame with effortless charm, exuded confidence yet carried that boyish charm fans adore. Song Hye Kyo, on the other hand, was the picture of radiance. She wore an elegant floor-length gown in a champagne hue, shimmering subtly with each step she took, her smile lighting up the entire room. Together, they were nothing short of breathtaking. Guests couldn't help but exchange glances, whispering about how perfectly they complemented each other, like two stars destined to shine brighter when side by side. And oh, the guest list. This was no ordinary gathering. Sitting among the tables were some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry. People whose faces and talents we've admired on screen for years. Kim Soo-hyun was spotted in an effortlessly chic suit, sharing jokes with Park Shin-hye, who looked stunning in a velvet emerald dress. Song Joong-ki, yes, you heard right, Song Joong-ki himself made an appearance, and though fans were surprised to see him walk in, he carried himself with composure and grace, proving that friendships in this industry can weather storms and still stand strong. Jun Ji-hyun, Park Seo-joon, Gong Yoo, and even Blackpink's Jennie were among those present, each adding their unique spark to the evening. As the dinner began, the atmosphere filled with a harmonious mix of sophistication and laughter. Conversations flowed like fine wine, and guests were seen leaning in close, sharing stories, reminiscing about projects, and even teasing each other about old memories. Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo moved gracefully from table to table, making sure every guest felt included, their warmth drawing smiles and laughter wherever they went. It was clear to everyone present that this wasn't just about glamour. It was about connection, about celebrating bonds that transcend work and fame. And speaking of wine, the menu for the evening was another highlight. Guests were treated to a culinary journey that featured the finest selections of both Korean and international cuisine. There were delicate appetizers, like smoked salmon canapes and truffle-infused dumplings, followed by a main course that left everyone raving. Think tender Wagyu beef paired with creamy mashed potatoes, alongside a Korean twist of galbijim slow-cooked to perfection. And let's not forget the desserts. Miniature cheesecakes, macarons, and a decadent chocolate fountain that drew even the most reserved guests to indulge. Every dish seemed to tell a story, a fusion of tradition and modern luxury, mirroring the very essence of the night itself. But what's a star-studded dinner without unforgettable moments? One of the highlights came when the lights dimmed slightly, and a live band began to play soft, melodic tunes. Guests swayed gently in their seats, and soon some even took to the small dance floor at the center of the room. Imagine Park Seo-joon laughing as he tried to match steps with Jun Ji-hyun, or Kim Soo-hyun showing off a surprisingly smooth waltz with Park Shin-hye. But the moment that had everyone whispering was when Lee Min-ho extended his hand to Song Hye Kyo. The two glided across the floor, moving with an elegance that seemed straight out of a fairy tale drama. Cameras clicked discreetly, but it was the way they looked at each other. Soft, genuine, as though the world had faded around them, that truly captured hearts. Fans later described this moment as one that felt scripted, yet so beautifully real. Throughout the evening, there were toasts made, glasses raised, and words of gratitude exchanged. Lee Min-ho gave a heartfelt speech, thanking his friends for being a part of his journey and emphasizing the importance of cherishing moments together despite busy schedules. Song Hye Kyo followed, her voice gentle yet commanding attention, expressing how much these relationships meant to her, especially in an industry where true friendships are rare treasures. Her words brought nods of agreement and even a few misty eyes among the guests, proving that beyond the glitz and glamour, there was genuine emotion grounding the night. Of course, no star-studded dinner would be complete without a bit of playful drama, though not the kind you might expect. Fans were amused when Blackpink's Jennie playfully teased Gongyu about his infamous coffee commercial, leading to a round of laughter that echoed across the room. Meanwhile, Kim Soo-hyun and Song Joong-ki engaged in a light-hearted debate about who could cook better ramen, sparking playful cheers from the tables around them. These moments, small yet significant, painted a picture of celebrities simply being themselves, free from the pressures of cameras and scripts, just friends enjoying each other's company. As the evening drew on, photos began circulating online, sneak peeks taken by some attendees and later shared with the world. Fans were mesmerized by the sheer beauty of the event, with hashtags trending within minutes. Hashtag Minho Hye Kyo Dinner, hashtag Starry Night Seoul, and hashtag KDrama Royalty top social media trends. Some fans even created edits of Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo dancing, overlaying them with romantic music, fueling the ever-growing admiration for this duo. It wasn't just about the dinner anymore. It became a celebration shared with millions around the globe, uniting fans who felt as though they had been part of the magic themselves. But what truly made this evening unforgettable wasn't just the glamour, the food, or the fashion. It was the unspoken bond that tied it all together. It was about seeing Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo not just as stars but as hosts who wanted to create joy for the people closest to them. It was about friendships that reminded us all that no matter how bright the spotlight, what really matters is the warmth of those who stand beside you. Lovely viewers, doesn't that make you feel like you were right there with them? Can't you almost hear the clinking of glasses, the bursts of laughter, the melodies playing softly in the background? Nights like this remind us why we fall in love with these stars. Not just for their talents on screen but for the genuine connections and human moments they share off-screen. And as fans, we get to celebrate these glimpses, turning them into cherished memories that we carry with us long after the night has ended. Now, imagine for a second, if you had been invited to that dinner, who would you have wanted to sit next to? Would it be Lee Min-ho with his charming stories, Song Hye Kyo with her graceful presence, or maybe a lively seat at Kim Soo-hyun's table, laughing until your sides hurt? The beauty of nights like these is that they spark our imagination, drawing us closer to the people we admire and reminding us that behind the fame, there are friendships, laughter, and love that make life truly beautiful. You might think the event had reached its peak with the heartfelt speeches, the unforgettable dance between Lee Min-ho and Song Hye Kyo, and the warmth of friends sharing old memories. But no. The evening continued to blossom into layers of excitement, emotion, and unexpected moments that turned this dinner into something truly iconic. As the music softened and conversations grew more intimate, guests began to settle into cozy clusters, breaking away from the formality of the earlier part of the night. Some lingered at the tables, sipping wine and enjoying decadent desserts, while others moved to lounge areas where plush sofas and low-lit lamps created an atmosphere reminiscent of a luxury after-party. It was in these quieter corners that some of the most revealing exchanges happened, moments that fans would later whisper about endlessly online. One particularly sweet scene involved Park Shin-hye and her longtime friend Kim Soo-hyun. The two were spotted sharing a hearty laugh over something on Shin-hye's phone, and eagle-eyed attendees claimed they were watching fan-made edits of themselves from old dramas. How adorable is that, lovely viewers? Imagine two huge stars sitting back and giggling like high school friends while the world adores them. It was moments like these that reminded everyone that even the biggest names in entertainment cherish the little things. Meanwhile, Gong Yoo became the center of another unforgettable scene. Known for his effortless charisma, he gathered a small group that included Song Joong-ki, Jun Ji-hyun, and Park Seo-joon, and soon enough the entire corner erupted in laughter. Rumor has it that Gong Yoo was reenacting an old blooper from set that had the others nearly falling out of their chairs. Can't you just picture it? These megastars who were used to seeing in such polished roles, letting their guards down and acting silly together. It's a side of them fans rarely get to see. And then came the most anticipated moment of the night. An impromptu performance. Yes, you heard right. Blackpink's Jennie, encouraged by the cheers of her fellow guests, took the microphone from the live band. What started as playful encouragement soon turned into a spellbinding moment as she serenaded the room with a soulful rendition of a ballad. The audience fell silent, enchanted, and as she finished, the entire hall erupted into applause. Lee Min-ho himself was seen clapping enthusiastically, while Song Hye Kyo wore a look of pride, clearly delighted at the magic unfolding under their roof. Not to be outdone, Park Seo-joon playfully grabbed the mic next and surprised everyone by singing a nostalgic K-drama OST. His slightly imperfect but charming performance had the whole room singing along. Imagine the energy, lovely viewers. Celebrities swaying with glasses in hand, voices blending together in harmony, creating a chorus that felt like a family gathering rather than an industry event. It was at that moment that everyone realized this dinner wasn't just glamorous. It was deeply human, a night of togetherness. Behind the sparkle and fun, there were also whispers of deeper conversations. Some guests were said to have talked about future collaborations, new projects, and even philanthropic efforts. Song Hye Kyo, known for her charitable heart, was seen in earnest discussion with Jun Ji-hyun about potential causes they could support together. Lee Min-ho, on the other hand, was overheard talking to Gong Yoo about exploring new genres in film and how the industry was evolving to embrace global audiences. These subtle exchanges hinted that the evening was not just about reminiscing but also about building futures. Of course, fashion remained a hot topic throughout the night. Social media was flooded with breakdowns of the guests' outfits, with fans and fashion critics alike swooning over the bold yet tasteful choices. Park Shin-hye's velvet emerald gown was described as one of the standout looks of the evening, while Jun Ji-hyun's sleek silver dress was hailed as timeless elegance. Jennie's chic black mini dress paired with sparkling jewelry quickly became a viral moment, inspiring fans worldwide to recreate her look. But above all, it was Song Hye Kyo's champagne gown that stole the spotlight, trending globally as fans declared it the perfect reflection of her grace and sophistication. And beside her, Lee Min-ho's tuxedo look was praised as effortlessly classic, making them the ultimate power pair of the night. And here's where things got even more exciting, lovely viewers, the after-dinner activities. Once the main courses and desserts were enjoyed, a section of the hall transformed into what could only be described as an intimate lounge club. Soft lighting bathed the room in hues of gold and purple, and the band shifted gears to more upbeat tracks. Some guests hit the dance floor once again, while others opted to relax with cocktails in hand. It felt like the perfect blend of elegance and fun, a space where stars could truly unwind. The most talked about moment of the after-hour segment was when Lee Min-ho raised his glass once more, this time not for a formal speech but for a light-hearted toast. With a mischievous smile, he joked about how he had to thank Song Hye Kyo for not only organizing the evening but also for making sure he didn't mess up the seating chart. The joke drew laughter all around, and Song Hye Kyo herself playfully swatted his arm, her laughter ringing out across the hall. Fans who later saw clips of this couldn't stop swooning over the chemistry between the two. Natural, playful, and utterly charming. As the night edged toward its close, something beautiful happened. Guests began to exchange not just goodbyes but also promises. Promises to meet again despite their busy lives. Promises to support each other in their projects. And promises to hold on to nights like this. It was evident that Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo had succeeded in more than just hosting a glamorous dinner. They had created a space where friendships were celebrated and memories were made. And dear viewers, let's not forget the impact this event had beyond the four walls of the hall. The moment snippets and photos leaked onto social media, fans around the globe felt like they were part of the magic. From Seoul to New York, from Manila to Paris, timelines lit up with admiration. Some fans even hosted their own virtual dinner parties, streaming dramas starring these icons while raising glasses in honor of the night. Isn't it heartwarming how a single evening could ripple across the world, connecting millions of people who may never meet these stars in person but still feel so deeply bonded to them? Speculations also began swirling. Was this just a one-time dinner? Or could Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo make it an annual tradition? Some even wondered if the duo was planning bigger things together, perhaps even professionally. Could they be hinting at a future collaboration? Maybe even a drama that would bring their undeniable chemistry to the screen. The thought alone sent fans into overdrive, with hashtags and petitions calling for producers to make it happen. Lovely viewers, as the night finally wound down and the last of the guests departed, Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo stood side by side at the entrance, personally thanking each friend with warm hugs and kind words. That image, of two of the brightest stars in the industry, united in hosting a night that will be remembered for years, was perhaps the most powerful of all. It showed that no matter how high they soar in their careers, they remain grounded in the simple joys of friendship, love, and togetherness. Even after the lights dimmed and the hall grew quiet, the echoes of laughter, music, and heartfelt connections lingered in the air. For those who attended, it was a memory etched into their hearts. For fans around the world, it was a reminder that the people we admire most can also inspire us not just through their work but through the way they live, love, and cherish the people around them. So lovely viewers, here's the question for you. If Lee Min-ho and Hye Kyo decide to host another glamorous dinner, who would you want to see on the guest list? Would it be another wave of K-drama royalty? Or maybe some unexpected global stars joining the mix? Imagine the possibilities and let your hearts dream, because with nights like this, the magic truly never ends.